God in heaven, I would be thinking to cut my will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. Deliver us from evil.
Well, here's the deal.
How many ways? I've exhausted my creativity on how I can fail.
You know Agent Baker over there? He's kind of adult. He's actually an idiot.
Keep it from the public. Eliminate any unnatural threats.
And Baker's just standing there for like 10 seconds in the silent, and the fog comes back in and says, "This is so fucking cool."
What's up? Welcome to Sunny Shenanigans Gaming Plays Delta Green. I'm Nolan, your handler. Today we bring you this, hopefully, the season finale of our run of A Victim of the Art. How are my agents doing?
It feels like somebody put a screen door in my gut.
Bob had hernia surgery yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry you're going through that. Hope it ends quickly.
Right. It's all right.
He's probably all doped up and
I am all doped up. It's just not doing anything. But that's all right.
So yeah, usually I like to start our episodes with a little banter, but today I really don't got shit. So
Wait a minute. What do you mean you don't got shit? Like, dude, it's officially spooky season. So what do you mean there's nothing to talk about? It's spooky season. Of course there's shit to talk about. Like Weapons is out on video now.
yeah, it came out like 2 weeks ago. I've already watched it like 4 times.
Yeah, same here. It was just so good that one absolutely, kind of like I was saying before, it really captures the feeling of a Delta Green style operation without it being, officially there. It was just so good.
I almost want to be like, none of you watch it because I'm gonna rewrite it for a game.
It wouldn't be that hard, right? Like, that wouldn't be too terribly hard to adapt.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. What's the context, or it's hard
to explain without spoiling it, but
got it.
Basically, a whole classroom of kids just gets up in the middle of the night, like at their own homes, and they run away, and they do like this creepy, like Naruto style run, like just like out their front door somewhere. That's basically it without telling you what's going on, but it's definitely worth a watch. And I know I said don't watch it, but go watch it because it's
okay.
It is very, very good.
Josh Brolin's in it. You guys watch Ozark? You ever watch Ozark?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
The blonde girl from that, who's like good in everything she does, she's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'm definitely going to add that to the watch list.
Yeah, I was not. When I first saw the previews, I was not sure kind of what to expect, and now it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah. For me, getting the spooky season, the new Silent Hill game just came out, so I've got that on the playlist. I don't know if anyone else plays anything, but Silent Hill's another one that's kind of Delta Green-esque because of the way you get like transported into your memories and stuff.
Is it like a brand new Silent Hill game, or is it like a remake?
Yeah, it's brand new.
I'm terrible with video games. I buy them and then I play them for like a week and then I just stop. It's like a waste of money. But
are you still playing Ready or Not?
No. I played it for a week and a half, and then we're like, hey, let's make this a podcast. So I've been editing everything.
Yeah. That definitely happened. No, I didn't realize there was a new Silent Hill. I love those games, man. That shit was great. Silent Hill 2, still one of the all-time classics.
That sense of atmosphere,
Just going into the town. And did anybody here see the movie? We're talking the first Silent Hill. That one was good. they really kind of hit the nail on the head. But then the second one, it was like they put Jon Snow in it because he was popular for a minute, and it's just like, no, you guys missed the mark on that.
That's what happens with adaptations.
Last session, Agent Baker was a complete boss and decided to use his pet IAPA to dispose of some bodies. It pretty much ended with you guys getting all patched up by Santorini being all pissed off because he could tell you guys aren't really letting him into what's all going on. But he said when you're ready to tell him the truth, to give him a call. Everybody reconvened at the motel, and you decided to sleep on everything that's happened and discuss in the morning what you're all going to do to kind of cover this all up. So yeah, other than that, I got nothing for you right now. So you guys need to let me know what your plan is.
Yeah, I had messaged Nolan earlier in the week because I remembered after last session that for killing the handcuffed and unconscious people that were innocents, that I forgot to make sanity rolls.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, murdering an innocent, you need to make you need to make 2 sand rolls, one for Mark Dengler, one for Eloise Dengler. So let's roll one for Mark Dengler right now.
Alrighty. Fumble.
First,
Let me, I'm going to use my Nolan token. I'm going to cash in my Nolan token with your permission.
yeah, that's the other thing I want to tell you. My Impossible Landscapes game that I'm running, we were talking about these tokens. I think we decided on a good ruling for them. So if you get one, before you roll, you can add 20% to your roll. If you decide you want to use one after your roll, like you just did, it's just a re-roll. Okay,
I'll
so
take my chances. Success!
Yeah.
I'm always planning on you guys to fail. So when you succeed, it's shocking. So I need to see what the Sandless is for succeeding. Let me look it up. What?
Probably just a 1.
I think so, but the fail is 1d10. Yeah, so
I probably should have looked at it.
no, I got it. So killing an innocent in cold blood, even for a very good reason, the sand loss is 1/1d10. So you take only 1 for Mark Dengler.
Sweet.
And for future reference, if you accidentally kill an innocent, it's a 1d8. So yeah, you just gonna take that one, or are you gonna project?
I am going to take that one because that's 2 boxes now for violence without going completely bonkers, and I only have 4 willpower left.
Nice.
So I need to try to, hopefully I can project without just turning into a catatonic zombie or something if this other one goes poorly.
All right, roll for Eloise.
Alrighty, here we go. Failure at 50. Damn.
Okay.
So 1d10?
Yeah, I roll that though for you. Let me
Okay.
6.
Okay, I'll try to project that because my other one was 4, but I had projected that, and this is my first time dealing with this much insanity loss or sanity loss rather, and if I projected and my willpower goes down to like 0, then my guy's just like zonked out in the bed all day or something, or like just has to like sit in the car and drool. Is that accurate?
How much willpower are you at right now?
I'm only at 4 out of 10 currently because I used the IAPA necklace, or amulet rather, at multiple times at the end of the last session, and I had projected one time for the violence that he saw whenever it ripped off the heads of Mark and Eloise.
And at the end of last session, we wrapped up with rolling your willpowers for sleeping, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all taken care of. If you're gonna project, roll me your willpower, and I guess, do you want to know exactly what happens when you get down too low?
Well, I guess I've read in the book, I know that I can lose control of my character entirely if I hit 0. Like basically, I'm just a psychopath, which makes sense considering this investigation so far. I guess my main question, I don't mean to get too meta right into the game, but since I had projected the other one and then passed this one, that would put me only at a total of 7 sanity points lost, and with 3 acts of violence. And would that make me would that make Baker adapted to violence?
No, because you're gonna for taking the 5 points of sanity damage, you're gonna trigger a temporary insanity episode.
Okay, gotcha.
And that resets everything from what I understand. So if you hit a breaking point or take 5 points in one go, it triggers an episode and then your checkboxes get erased.
Gotcha. Okay. And if I do project and get away with it, then would that still be the case?
I think if you project and you roll at least a 2, you can even that out. So you only take 4. You're going to take 2 on the bonds.
Okay.
But you're going to be subject to whatever that willpower roll is. And if you're at 0, then you just go catatonic.
Until you gain one more willpower point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that, I believe, if you do it that way, because you didn't trigger your temporary insanity, then you should be adapted to violence.
I'll go ahead and project regardless, just because I'm already at 35 sanity points total left, and I'd like to make it through one more investigation at least with this guy if possible.
Okay, all right, not to be too meta, but there is an option, because you're at risk with the willpower. If you can play up one of your motivations in a way the handler finds compelling, you can regain willpower.
That is also true.
Yeah. So what do you have under your motivations?
I have been doing those intentionally throughout. He's so self-worth, proving he's useful and not just a criminal, discovering valuable things, which I've been trying to, but failing most of my searches, as well as easing people's minds by telling them what they want to hear. He was trying to do that with the Denglers whenever the handler said, no, we got to kill him, as well as he told Dr. Santorini whenever he was leaving, he said, you helped save some lives. He was trying to tell him what he needed to hear to, leave it be at least.
That's a fair point. You've been kind of following those. Why don't you give yourself 2 willpower points?
Sweet.
There you go. You've convinced me.
Lovely. So, and then I roll a D4 to project. Is that right? Yeah.
So this is how this is going to work. You have 2 check marks in violence right now. If you project, if you take at least one of those sanity points, you'll be adapted to violence. Because remember how I said last time, you can kind of split it up. So you'd roll your willpower, you would subtract whatever that is from your willpower, and then you have 6 sanity points you can distribute between your bonds. So if you did 2 on one bond, 2 on another bond, but kept the 1 sanity point and took the 1 sanity point, you'd be adapted to violence. But if you project all of that 6 onto all your bonds, you don't suffer any sanity loss, so you wouldn't be projected, or you wouldn't be adapted.
Gotcha. Thank you for clarifying that. That does make sense. I didn't realize it was that intricate, but thank you for taking the time to explain it. Because I'm basically considering the amount of sanity that he's lost. I'd love to try to get adapted to violence if possible, which seems fitting given the kind of the amulet coming in and his worldview paradigm changing kind of with this first investigation. So I'll roll my willpower now. Is that right?
Yep.
And is that just a 1d4, or there's no willpower button on my character sheet?
Oh yeah, it's 1d4.
Is a rules clarification. I thought you can only project the amount of sanity up to your willpower roll.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're gonna take 2 no matter what, but you can.
Oh dang! I got 5 anyway, so I got temporary sanity. Okay, well maybe next time.
Yeah, so you take that 1 and project 1 of your sanity points onto one of your bonds, and then you take 5.
Okay.
And that's temporary insanity. So you have, the rules is written, it's fight, flee, or struggle. But you guys are in the motel room right now.
Well, and he did flee. If you want to say like retcon that he did, because the first thing he did after killing them was like run out the back door. If you just want to like play that in, is that like he snapped and left sign mets kind of?
Yeah,
that's perfect. Yep. Cool. So yeah, who are you gonna?
Old Nikki LaChance. She's definitely the side piece, and she's down to 5 out of 10 score there. Poor thing.
All right. Now that's all, let's kind of set the scene. You guys are all waking up in the motel room, getting washed up, getting some coffee. You're in separate rooms. So how do you guys convene after getting ready?
We have a hotel breakfast. We can all.
It's a motel. There's a vending machine out by the manager's office.
All right. Well, I'm gonna meander out to the vending machine. Maybe get a whatever apple pie.
A Roach Coach Danish that's been sitting in there for however long.
Smiley takes a little longer to get up because he's been so tired, but he goes to try to find some coffee, and at which point he might pass by Steinmetz at the vending machine.
All right, yeah, we'll say there's one of those coffee dispensers there too.
Ugh, those are the worst.
Yeah.
McNulty is going to be moving slow, considering he's pretty well foobar. He's going to start off by taking a shower, so he's not baked in blood and shit and God knows what else.
And whenever Steinmetz and Smiley come outside, they see Baker just kind of standing out in the parking lot smoking a cigarette by himself, kind of like looking out towards the sunrise, and seems a little despondent, I guess, given what just happened.
McNulty hasn't come out yet, so do you three kind of group up and discuss what you're going to do? Because you're supposed to go speak with Gregson, spin a tale of what happened, or if there's anything else you want to do.
Yeah, so my plan, I haven't had a chance to do it, is I gotta see what kind of electronic trail the Denglers have. Anything I can find in there, suspicious financial activity, maybe have some files on the computer they're not supposed to. There's a few different routes, but it depends on, hey, can I find something? Or failing that, do I need to fabricate something to help lend credibility to our story?
You're grasping at straws to see if in real life the Danglers have something going on that might cause them to want to murder these people.
Yeah. Or, at this point, I don't know if there is actually, involvement of the father and mother, right? We don't necessarily think so, but there is some evidence pointing that way. The fact that Mark came out with a shotgun first thing, and the mother's motivation seemed to be a little more in line with the victims than the son.
Yeah, that's right. The father not responding to federal agents telling him to put his gun down. And I think, and it felt like the mother went downstairs and called the father while we were talking to the son, to me, because he was not supposed to be back for 3 to 4 hours, and then he came in with a shotgun.
Okay.
Which seems
so. From what you as agents know, that all sounds like something you can use to explain away this stuff. Steinmetz, why don't you?
My idea was to go to the Dengler house, but I kind of also had in mind that maybe somebody else would want to go do some digging around at the house. We didn't get a chance to fully search, but I wasn't going to be doing the physical search. I was just going to be looking at the electronic trail.
Baker's happy too, but we all know how well he searches.
Yes.
Once Jimmy's out of the shower, I think he could be convinced to do that and kind of see what we could come up with.
If that's what you want to do, you can go back to the Dengler house if you want.
All right, I suppose we wait for Jimmy and knock on the door.
Yeah, I'm coming. And I guess we take the Suburban off to the Dengler home.
All right. What about Smiley and Baker?
Going with, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I think what I'm picking up, it kind of is at this point, it doesn't sound like the agents have a cohesive story they want to do yet, or is that something we want to talk through right now? At some point, Smiley would feel like he wants to help try to start controlling the narrative with the media, right? Because that's his area of expertise. But if we're still developing it based off of what we might find, then he would wait to see what's there so he can weave it into whatever we come up with.
Yeah. We gotta, I guess the thought being maybe there's something additional at the house. The old man worked for Northrop. There's all kinds of evil shit that they're up to. Maybe he was doing something he maybe shouldn't have been, a little bit dirty off the books that we can parlay into, oh yeah, he was into some absolutely nefarious stuff and got his hands on some tech that he shouldn't have. I think that was Lee's idea, or Baker's idea originally, right? I ain't taking credit for that.
I think it was actually Smiley had like the details, but we can I would say for the sake of the game, we all just team up and go in the Suburban. That way we can discuss anything we want to discreetly while in transit, and like Steinmetz said, just kind of see what we find whenever we get there. And also if we come across anything, other people there or anything, there's 4 FBI agents, so we can just completely assume control of the place and, go from there.
You guys pile in the Suburban, take off, and start heading towards the Dengler residence. You're bullshitting in the Suburban, talking about options and things like that, and you turn down the Dengler street, and the first thing you notice are 2 news vans filming the out front of the Dengler residence and all the debris from Thomas Dengler's window being bashed in, and news vans. And you see a reporter interviewing Detective Gregson. What do you do?
Seeing that Gregson's getting interviewed, Smiley pops out of the van and starts walking over to see if he can pick up on what's being said.
All right, similarly, but I keep my distance.
Jimmy is gonna try and kind of control the scene a little bit and try and usher away a couple of the, as many of the news cameras as he can, kind of corral them up.
So McNulty's trying to send them
nothing to see here, just stand by. We'll give you a press release shortly.
Roll me a persuade. Failure.
Oh, really?
They're like, we're on a public street. We don't have to go anywhere. While you're kind of arguing with one of the news teams, the news team that's interviewing Detective Gregson. Smiley, did you say you got out of the van or you're sitting in the van?
I got out of the van to walk over and try to listen in.
In the middle of this interview, Detective Gregson's like, oh, as a matter of fact, here's one of the FBI agents who's been working with us on some of these mysterious deaths that have been happening around here. Maybe he's got something to say. And she kind of grabs you and pulls you in front of the camera.
Yep. Smiley turns it on immediately and is like, thank you, Officer Gregson. I'll take it from here. Yes, happy to make a quick statement. Again, can't get into the details as this is quickly developing and this is very confidential information, but I can confirm that last night federal agents came in investigation of the deaths, and upon arrival at the facility, Mr. Mark Dengler fired on officers, federal officers, and that's all I can share from now. That is the incident of the noise. We're quickly looking into it, and again, a press release will be coming out, and we'll share more details, but that is all I'm at liberty to share at this time.
The reporter says, yeah, but we've done some digging, and there's also his wife, Eloise Dengler, and their son, Thomas. Any word on what happened to them?
That's all I'm able to share at this time. I appreciate that you have a lot of questions, but I'll be happy to give more information when the official press release comes out. This is a federal investigation.
Roll me persuade.
Success! 6. But one thing Smiley's good at.
Nice.
The reporter's like, thank you very much. And she's like, reporting from Glen Ridge, Long Island, this is Lisa Martinez, and back to you, George. She tells the cameraman to shut the camera off. She comes up to Smiley and she hands him a card, and she goes, if you have any more information, please give me a call. The public is kind of up in arms with everything that's going on in this town lately. We'd appreciate some answers.
And Smiley says back, yeah, appreciate you giving me the card. I definitely want to give you some more information, but obviously I'm at, hands are tied in terms of what I can. In fact, I think I gave you a little bit more on that scoop than I should have, but I just wanted to make sure people knew that things were developing.
All right. And at that point, Detective Gregson says, all right, we have work to do here. We're going to need all the news organizations off the premises. We'll come out with a statement as soon as we can. And the news teams pull off and leave the scene. Gregson corrals all you guys together, and she's like, what the fuck happened here last night?
I'm just, I'm recalling our initial playthrough of Music from a Darkened Room, where you asked the history professor, hey, are you cool? I have the body of a 10-year-old in my trunk. Oh, I'm calling the police now.
Yeah, be smarter than me.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
Baker replies, he says, there was a shootout with Mark Dengler between our agents and him, as Agent Smiley said, and the Dengler family is officially on the lam. They got away, both the father, son, and wife. We believe that they're already out of state, so this is a federal matter.
Smiley also chimes in, and we're starting, we need a little bit more time to look at evidence in the house, but we're starting to believe that Mark Dengler is likely suspect number one of the murders in the town with explainable reason.
He says they're on the run. Should I alert any of the police in nearby areas to set out a bolo for them, or what?
We've already contacted the U.S. Marshals to try and see if they can track them down. But if you want to put out a bolo for the neighboring towns, that would be just fine.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
All right, I'll do that. Is there anything you need from me here? If not, I'm going to head back to the station and get to work on that.
No, we appreciate you handling the press like you did.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. She gets in her vehicle and takes off.
It's just us now?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Smiley goes, phew, that was close. Smiley looks to the other agents and says, well, guys, I think our story is starting to maybe write itself a bit here. We got Dengler, works for a U.S. military-industrial complex. Who's to say that some death drone that's in development wasn't being, brought home, could pick people up, right, and reconfiscate them, but it's not working, or he modified it, and when it takes them up, whoop, there goes their heads. So, obviously, all the people we hear from witnesses that will be able to say it, they're all connected to his son Thomas, right? And with the death of the grandfather, maybe he went crazy, said, you know what? My son reminds me so much of my grandfather that any slight against him, I'm going for him. I'm taking him out. And as we found all of the evidence, we came on site, he shot at us, boom, there's our story. Any holes you see?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we'd have to get something semi-concrete.
Baker interrupts and says, "Are we still in the street right now? Currently, I apologize. Are we still physically on the street?
You guys never said you were going to the house.
Okay." Baker says, "Come on, let's take this conversation inside, guys. I'll make us some coffee."
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Let's go into the house first.
Yeah, in my head, I assumed we had moved it, so my bad. I should have said that.
No, it's fine. Yeah, we should probably fabricate something to kind of make it look like, yep, this is the deal. And we should probably, anything that we kind of rattle about with Northrop is going to elicit an official response from them. So whatever it is, we have to make it look like something is wrong on their end too, that, if they start asking questions like, what the hell, we don't have any of this, then
who would believe them though?
Yeah, they'd have just as much of an interest in the cover up, right? So maybe we can kind of, I don't want to say recruit them.
I feel like they would have their own cover up they'd have to deal with, a cover up that they'd have to just put a spin on it to get it out of the press. So
they want as many death things out there as they can. So other countries think they got something like that. Maybe they'll start developing it.
Free advertising.
Yeah, so this is all good stuff. So there's a few things you could do. Steinmetz was saying, you can look for things that could actually be corrupting the Dengler family and try to pin something on that, or you could plant false evidence to make it look like it's a Northrop Grumman thing or whatever. It's just a matter of what you want to do.
My idea was a combination of 1 and 2. Try and find anything that we can, and then beef it up with some extra window dressing.
Okay. Well, Steve, you want to...
I was going to say, to the computers that go.
What's your computer science?
62.
Okay. So are you going on, the Dengler's home computer?
Yes.
All right. Roll me computer science.
That is 64 over 62, a failure.
You're going through their stuff and nothing stands out to you that you might be able to pin on something. They're just a normal family, living their life. Finances are good. Nothing.
I had another angle. How much, and maybe I have accounting skill as well, maybe looking at how much do they deal in cash? Where I'm leaning with this is, okay, maybe we can't find something directly, but we can look at, well, they take out they deal a lot with cash. Maybe Mark Dengler is going around, he's working on something on his own, and he's buying the materials in cash. So if I look at it from the accounting side.
I mean, you're a computer science guy. Like we can go that route.
Somebody built this guy with 70 skill in accounting, so.
Baker says, I wonder how much they got.
Roll me in accounting.
Let's give it a shot. That is a success, 38 under 70.
I'm going to take some...
yeah, the problem is if there's nothing there, there's nothing there, right? You could roll a critical...
Not necessarily. Like, you are going through their accounts. Everything looks normal. No oddball withdrawals. Nothing crazy. But you think if you took a little time, you could hack in and make it look like that.
Okay. Confer with the group. Hey, I think I can generate a pattern here. What's the pattern we want to generate? What do we want the evidence to point toward?
Is there any way that we can get the cash that's in those accounts as part of this? Baker suggests, operational expenses.
That's a good point. Smiley thinks Smiley says also we could make it look like they were fleeing, give a trail for that, right? So funds could go to the Cayman Islands and really they end up over to us.
That absolutely tracks.
All right.
I'm gonna say you have the means to make all that happen.
Okay. Just it's a fait accompli, or do I need to make some rolls here?
You can do it. We'll just see. Roll me another accounting. This is gonna be for how much money you're able to transfer to make look like they're making these huge withdrawals.
Can we make any with a bonus for like taking extra time or anything like that since we're not under duress?
Yeah, he's got a high accounting, so that's going to put him at like a 92. He's going to pass. I'm basically just seeing if he crit successes.
Okay.
All right, here we go for all the marbles. Or, well, we don't know how many marbles. That's a success, 36 under 70, or 36 under whatever.
Steinmetz is typing away. While he's doing this, what are you guys doing? Are you guys searching the house still, or are you guys all just together while he's working his magic?
I'm searching the parents' room to see if I can come up with anything that can make the dad look like a vengeful psychopath.
Smiley is actually spending. In terms of what Smiley's doing, he's working on a press release. So he's typing through or writing down essentially all the stuff he wants to say, and he's also thinking through what piece of information he wants to leak back to Lisa, kind of using someone else's cell phone or something like that to kind of start planting the trail.
Baker, what are you doing?
Baker is quote unquote looking for evidence to help further corroborate, but he's also, side note, looking for things to pocket or steal, as well as a set of Jeep Grand Cherokee keys.
Okay. Roll me a search.
He asks for McNulty's help as well in looking for those.
I mean, we're in it together. If we're both searching through the parents' room to come up with stuff, who's got the higher base search?
I'm only at 21 here.
I've got a 40, so if you want to help me,
be happy to.
If Bob wants to make that roll, he can make it at a 65.
All right.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Are you kidding me?
Nothing. That's Bob's search roll. I will let Baker make another search roll just at his 20 whatever he's got.
Fumble.
Baker
100.
100.
Let's go.
Wow.
18.
Not only do you not find anything, but you lose the shit that you had on.
I implicate the entire team and the program.
McNulty steals your wallet while you're not looking.
Yeah, I mean, what can I do for a fumble to make it bad? I mean, you just don't find anything. This family's clean. Steinmetz is working on the books down there, and he's able to allocate $50,000 to an offshore bank account only accessible to you guys.
Baker says, I've been doing things wrong my whole life.
Man, that's some crazy expenditures. Well, shit. I mean, I guess.
So as far as anybody looks at their books knows, there is 50 grand just gone.
Awesome.
Could we see if maybe Steinmetz could forge some like deranged journal rantings, like online notes that looked like Mark was just into crazy shit? Specifically, because we can tie him to the dentist and them being pissed off at the dentist. We can tie the kid to the librarian and
Lauren Harrogate,
the girl. Yeah, we can tie them together. Maybe if we write up some crazy ranting shit about all three of them.
That's a good idea, but I don't think Steinmetz is the one who would be crafty enough to do that. So if Steinmetz and Smiley want to get together, I feel like being in the news, Smiley would be better off with the writing part of it, and Steinmetz would be better off with the planting it.
McNulty will suggest that then. Hey, why don't we, since we can't really find anything, if we put something there, then at least this is something to give them to, make it go. We have that plus now the missing 50 grand in cash, then, that all kind of points in the direction that we want to go.
Smiley says, I like it. I already got a narrative in my head. Essentially, he's going to be so focused on his son and talking about all these things and interchangeably changing his son's name with the grandfather and talking about how his teeth were not the same as his grandfather's anymore, and talk about how the love of his life, Lauren, essentially could have been just like his grandma, but it wasn't. And so he starts trying to come up with ideas.
All right, roll me. Don't you have like a journalism skill or?
I do.
Yeah, roll that.
15, success.
Okay, so you're concocting this fake journal about it's almost finished. I mean, I've done my last tests, and you're making it sound like he's building something, making some sort of weapon. I don't know. Is that how you guys see it, or like I'm having trouble coming up with?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's a good way to go. Yeah. Like maybe they didn't have.
He took existing technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Modified it, and he modified it with the goal of protecting his Thomas.
That's good.
So yeah, you write all this stuff he about him making this weapon, this machine that's just, supposed to be highly undetectable and pick off people real fast. And you mentioned you did it to the dentist. That Mark, I tried it on the dentist. That motherfucker flayed my son's mouth open, and he was rambling about the dentist, and then he's rambling about Mrs. Hatvan, and my son's got all A's and she gives him detention, and the colleges are gonna look at that and fuck her, and
I had to put her in detention permanently.
Yeah, I put her in detention permanently, and I'm not even gonna go in about that Lauren bitch who just embarrassed my son in front of to all of her friends, and they're all taken care of now. And you write all this down, and do you want to leave it written, or do you want to give it to Steinmetz to like plant deep in the computer for someone to find?
Yeah, I think since my handwriting wouldn't match Mark's, I think the digital one of putting it on his computer, and then Steinmetz would essentially help me in backdating it or making it look like it was actually created in previous entries, so that the creation date can be different than the actual creation date.
I don't even want to make Steinmetz roll for that because he's got such a high computer science, and it's just planting a document. Yeah. So, Steve, why don't you just kind of describe how you're doing it?
All right, so I've got a program that spoofs the time. So what we do is we write what are we talking? Is this a few pages, or is this like a dozen pages here? I guess it
it's
can't
a manifesto.
So
the Dengler Manifesto.
So I'm just going to spoof the time. I'm going to go back a few months, plop in the first entry, save. Fast forward a few days, next entry, a few days forward on the time spoofer, save, and keep going through like that. So it's time stamping each successive version a few days later. So it's building this history of this file being in place. And
cool.
when it's ended, you can look at, like Windows or whatever, there's like the previous version. You can see, oh yeah, look at, there's this version from a few days ago and then 3 weeks before that and whatever.
Awesome.
Until we get back a few months if the grandfather's death was a few months back, shortly after the grandfather's death, and building up, and to match the timeline along with what Smiley has crafted. That is the forensic digital timeline along with the Manifesto timeline he's created.
I'm totally naming this episode the Dengler Manifesto.
Love it.
That all works out for you. Baker, what are you doing right now?
He's just, I guess, dropping things still from his terrible search roll. Like,
Still upstairs in the bedroom?
Yeah, Baker would still be, I guess, fumbling around, looking around, for things that he could pilfer, literally anything, medicine cabinet, side drawer next to the bed kind of thing. And it's okay if I don't get another search, but just playing off the last fumble, looking to see if he even had like a bedside gun, any kind of like good pain pills, maybe. But if they're clean, I understand.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's basically what he'd be looking for, opportunity things, knowing that we're, it sounds like the smarter people in the room have it very well under control, and he's just looking for stuff to maybe boost for himself, but failing. So, and he says, "Fucking squeaky clean family."
Hey, why don't you go back outside and see if you can find that Rolex?
Yeah, I'd see. I'm cool with the fumble that he just he just left it there, and I guess it makes sense too if they do come and find Dr. Moretti's Rolex to be there. That makes more sense than what I mean, as far as corroboration. That's the one physical piece of evidence that is on site, as well as the other shell casing that we had. I don't need to pick that up because we admitted that there was a firefight.
And I love how our shortcomings are turning out to be in our favor. This is great.
Yeah, a lot of creative thinking going on in this. It's really cool. But yeah, he's just...
All right.
That's it.
Baker, did you happen to recover my patrol rifle from our shootout in the woods there yesterday? Because if not, I should probably go and recover that.
Good thinking. Baker would not have done that, probably, I guess. He was just checking to see if Thomas's body was there when he last checked.
Okay, so I guess McNulty would go downstairs and be like, I'm going to go check the woods one more time, and heads out of the house towards the woods. Steinmetz and Smiley are all finished with what they're doing. Do you call down Baker, or what do you guys do?
Baker would just come down.
So McNulty, under some mud and leaves, finds his patrol rifle. Anything else you do out there, or you just head back to the residence?
Did I still have my service pistol? I'm assuming I had my service pistol, but I know that without a shadow of a doubt, I dropped the patrol rifle.
Yeah, I don't even think you pulled the service pistol, so you...
Okay. All right, cool. I'm trying to think of just canvass the area real good and kind of eliminate any scenes of a struggle over there, because we're saying that they all just disappeared.
Yeah, anything you see out of place, you kind of, rake the leaves with your foot and try to clear everything up, and
then I'm going to head back to group up with the rest of them.
All right, well, it sounds like you guys have a pretty good story lined up. Do you actually go to the police station and present this all to Gregson, or give her a call, or what?
We could just give her the report, even it would not be uncommon that it would come like even weeks later. I think as far as with the story that we've crafted so far. But I think the less FaceTime and exposure we have as a group, just at large, in any opportunity that we have is beneficial. Just given the nature of what we're doing out here, Baker says, and he also mentions that we still have Sandra Harrogate, and the goo sample that the doctor sent out. and the bodies at the morgue. And I don't mean to, put us on a tangent, but
No, that was all taken care of. Walker had somebody go to the morgue and pick up the bodies. That happened like 2 episodes ago. So
okay, gotcha.
all that's taken care of. The goo is taken care of. Sandra Harrigan's taken care of. She went off the deep end. I don't think there's any loose
Smiley
end
did
there.
a good job of just putting her out of commission, accidentally.
The only loose end I see is that Gregson does want to put the public at ease. So I think she mentioned something about having a press conference once you guys had all your stuff figured out. So whether Smiley wants to just go be that talking head for the FBI and give that press conference, or if he just wants to type up a whole report type something up to give to her to make the press conference, that's fine too.
We probably don't want to have you representing yourself as the FBI on TV if you're a news reporter in another state either, as far as
This is true.
potential evidence. For somebody like Phenom X, they'd go nuts over that stuff.
Well, I think we scared the piss out of them enough to where they won't be a problem anymore.
Yeah, I'm good either way. I did prepare a quick press release if needed to read from, so I do have that available.
I want you to do that if you worked on it. So think of a reason you would not give a shit that you're going to be on TV as an FBI agent.
So what I typed up that I was an appointed media liaison for the FBI. So essentially, I'm not directly an agent, but a liaison because of my experience, and then I had exposure during some of my investigative journalism.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much the Dengler house is all done with. Do you guys all want to go to the police station, or is Smiley just going to go and take care of this last bit?
If we're trying to set the public's mind at ease, and our story is basically, the Denglers did it, and they're on the run now. I don't know if the Denglers are necessarily going to put the public's mind at ease. So do we want to say, hey, we found a digital trail. We think we know where they're going. Agents are on their way right now. And then coincidentally, mid-press conference, oh, what's this? Ding, ding. I'm proud to announce that our agents have captured the Denglers.
Yeah, but then what happens when they never go on trial or anything?
Well, they went out in a blaze of glory, right? They, of course, Mark Dengler had his emergency backup plan, and they were in the cabinet, the trope of the cabin in the woods. And when agents approached, he detonated something.
Or maybe he fled the country to the place where you had the account set up or something, or
that's what I was hoping to use was your accounting ability gave evidence that they are out of the country, right? So it's something that the locals don't have to worry about anymore.
Yeah, it's a real Occam's razor thing. The all things being equal, the simplest solution tends to be the best one. So
you guys.
Country.
You guys can only do so much. That's kind of how Delta Green is. Like, you bring that up during the debrief with your handler and then try to work something out, but just do the best you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always going to be a couple loose threads, I think.
So yeah, as I said before, are you guys all going to the police station, or is it just Smiley?
I'll go with.
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't go with.
Are you calling Gregson to give her a heads up to get the media ready for press conference?
Yeah, I think we want to get there first.
Baker's just going to stay in the Suburban, basically, and think about what he's done, kind of thing.
I think we want to talk to Gregson first before the media arrives.
Okay. So you guys all pile up in the car, head over to the police station. You walk in. They've all seen you before. You guys just head to Gregson's office. She's in there. Looks like she's doing some paperwork, making some phone calls, probably setting out those bolos. So what do you come to her with?
I think this is a good time to let Smiley do some talking. You got the best spin, right?
Sure, I'm happy to do so. Gregson, looks like we are prepared to put the public at ease here. We have enough evidence to conclude that it was Mark Dengler. He was using a modified piece of equipment from his employer, which was military technology that was leading to the deaths of the individuals, all tied back to Thomas Dengler as personal slights. I've got more details here, and I kind of give the press release over to Gregson so that she can read through. This is what I'm planning to release and has been approved by the Bureau. Are there any questions you have or any things that we can answer for you prior to the press release?
So she reads through your notes, and she's like putting her hand over her head like, oh, holy cow. This seriously all happened?
Based on the evidence we have at hand, yes, this is what happened.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. You want me to call the media over so you can lay this all out to the public, put their minds at ease?
I think I'm ready. McNulty, Steinmetz, anything else we need to do before then?
Sounds good to me.
Yep, I think it's time to roll.
About a half an hour goes by. News vans show up. They set up a podium out in front of the police station. You see Smiley walking up to the podium, like 6 or 7 microphones that's sitting in front of him, and he begins to speak.
Channel 6 News, the news that works for the people. With your host, Alfonso Cronenberg.
This just in, we've got breaking news coming from Glenridge. They've set up a press conference on all the murders they've had. Let's cut to the live feed.
Good morning. I'm Derek Smiley, appointed media liaison for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I'm here today to announce the final findings of the multiple homicides in the Glen Ridge area, known by the public as the Glen Ridge chiropractor case. We understand the fear and uncertainty has gripped this community following the death of the 3 residents, Dr. Carl Moretti, Mrs. Vanessa Hatban, and Lauren Harrigan. As of this morning, the federal investigation into these deaths is formally closed. The perpetrator has been identified as Mark Dengler, a respected engineer working for Northrop Grumman. Our investigation concludes that Mr. Dengler suffered a severe mental breakdown driven by personal circumstances, including the recent death of his father-in-law, the archaeologist grandfather. This led to an obsessive need to avenge perceived slights against his family, particularly his son, Thomas. Mr. Dengler leveraged his professional access to acquire and illegally utilize highly experimental, sophisticated military hardware that he personally modified from his employer. This technology explains the extreme violence, including the decapitations, and, critically, how the bodies of the victims were found at great height, such as recovered in the tree atop the electrical tower. The mechanism for this murder is highly technical operation executed by Dengler under the cloak of his security clearance, using what we believe was experimental test equipment. The motivation was clearly personal. Mr. Dengler targeted individuals linked to the inconveniences or distresses felt by his son Thomas. All of the victims had performed perceived transgressions against Thomas within 48 hours of their deaths, which has been confirmed by multiple witnesses. We have determined that Mark Dengler committed these heinous acts and after confrontation at the residence has fled the area. Mr. Dengler's wife, Eloise, and their son, Thomas, are also currently missing and unaccounted for. The FBI is actively pursuing these leads related to their disappearances based on a trail of funds that were found on his accounts with evidence that they have fled the country. I must stress that due to the nature of Mark Dengler's employment, and the classified government contracts and security clearance involved, the details surrounding the specific type of technology used must remain classified and cannot be disclosed to the public or local authorities. To be clear, this was a personally modified version of this technology constructed by Mark Dengler, and not the IP currently claimed by Northrop Grumman. We have asserted federal jurisdiction over the scene and the evidence gathered, and we appreciate the cooperation of Detective Gregson and the Glen Ridge Police Department in adhering to this mandate. We are pleased to announce that the technology that was used in this incident has been found and is now in possession of the FBI. This was a tragic case of high-level technology being placed in the hands of a man spiraling into madness. We hope that this confiscation of the weapon at hand and the identification of the killer, and, though still not apprehended, brings some closure to this community. Thank you.
This has been Alfonso Cronenberg. Now back to your scheduled programming.
I don't know. Sounds like aliens to me.
Everybody in like the audience, you hear the crowd start to like talk, asking questions, but like in a movie, it fades out. You get a token for that whole speech. That was awesome.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Okay, thanks.
So yeah, you have your press conference. Everything checks out. Case to you is closed. But now you have to go debrief with Walker. So you need to give him a call.
We're gonna do this in person with him, or
You need to give him a call.
okay?
Yeah, somebody.
Smiley points to his nose and he goes, "Not it."
Yeah, I don't mind liaising, doing the thing.
All right. So you pick up your phone, dial Walker. It rings. It's like, this is Walker.
This is McNulty. It's done, and we put a lid on it.
All loose ends tied up.
As clean as we could make it. The parents and the family won't be making a mess anymore, and as far as the public concerned, they're out of the country and on the run. We spun it like the dad was using technology from his employer illicitly to enact personal vendettas. We made it look like they skipped town by moving some of their cash around and planting some writings on their computer that point to that.
Okay.
The unnatural threat is gone as well. It was destroyed.
Good. I do want to meet up with you all. Can you meet me at Linda's Diner at the corner of 45th and Green Street in about an hour?
Yeah, we can be there.
All right, see you then.
I guess we're going to Linda's Diner at 45th and Green.
They better have good coffee.
So you take off and get to this diner. You go inside. Other than the couple workers at this diner, off in the corner, you see Walker in his suit with his bolo tie. He's got a big 5-gallon cowboy hat on him. And he kind of waves you guys over. He says, thanks for all the good work you did. I know it got a little dicey. Just to clarify, that amulet you told me about, it's destroyed?
Yeah, there was a gunfight. The creature that was being summoned by the amulet wound up taking a big chunk out of me. I don't remember much after that point, but I had been in the process of, I was mid-stomp on it as I was taken out, and per Baker here, he finished the job.
Is that right, Baker?
Indeed. Damn thing vaporized in front of me whenever it shattered. Weirdest thing I've ever seen, except for the thing that it summoned. Assuming sorry, I realize we're in a diner. It's been a long 3 days.
As you say that, a waitress walks up to you. She doesn't ask to take your order. She doesn't bring you coffee. She sits down next to Walker, and you recognize her. Son of a bitch, I forgot her fucking name.
Sheila, the receptionist in Long Island?
You recognize her as Sheila, the receptionist in Long Island. She sits down next to you, next to Walker. Walker says, I'm sure you recognize Sheila. She's kind of my right hand. The program, they wanted me to retrieve the amulet from you and turn it in to the military defense division of the program. I believe that's a very, very bad idea.
So you're saying the program isn't all about cover-up. It's about how the government can use it for itself.
That's what I'm saying. So as of now, myself and Sheila, we've decided to go rogue. I'm sorry for keeping this from you till last minute, but I needed you to get the job done. As for you all...
I don't know if I would have got in there in time, but I was going to say, well, okay, so then what about the evidence you still have, the bodies and the goo?
They've been taken care of. As for you all, I I'd like to work with you in the future. But if that's going to happen, I need your relationship with the program to end immediately.
Walker, maybe I can be your man on the inside because I can't walk away from the program. I need to know more what they're up to.
Walker's like, I completely understand. Just if you're going to go back to the program, this meeting never happened.
Yeah, Track. I think we're on the same page. It's just my approach is different. Maybe you've seen enough that you can walk away, but I can't at this point. I need to know more what's going on in there. And just what I've learned in this conversation has been more than I've found in years.
Yeah, well, like I said, if you leaving the program goes against your beliefs, I understand, and this meeting never took place. What about the rest of you?
Smiley kind of chimes in and says, well, I'm really in this for one thing. There's some things that happened in my past I need answers to. And previously I thought, the program would be able to find me some of those answers. What assurances can I get from you that we'd be able to pursue some of the loose threads I have in my case?
Walker goes, I'll do my best to seek out anything I see that could be related with your past. But I think the most convincing thing for you is if you stay with the program, you're constantly going to be held down by their thumb.
Yeah, I've noticed they tend to keep me in the dark when I want to find things. So, yeah, I was hoping you might have access to information through your channels that I never would have had access to. I certainly agree with your motives. I can't consciously be contributing to things that will do harm and destruction to mankind. So, all right, for now, I think I can go with this, assuming that you'll do your best to help me.
Thank you. What about you, Baker?
Hearing all this, Baker looks at Walker and says, I did some fucked up shit for you back there. If you want me to keep working with you, you got to do something for me. Officer Slater, my parole officer, get him off my back. If you want me out of town doing stuff like this, I cannot have a parole officer. I'm not going back to jail.
As you're saying this, he slides a folder to you, and you open it up, and it's a completely new identity for you. You are whoever you decide to be. He slides it over to you and think, I'm 2 steps ahead of you. I already took care of this yesterday.
I'm in, he says, and he takes a drag from his cigarette and sips the coffee.
McNulty, I don't know if I want you working for me. You were giving me such a hard time during this scenario with leaving the goo at medical examiner, the fucking surveillance video, the fucking you trying to run my show, but you're probably the best detective I've ever had the pleasure to work with, and I would like you on the team.
Listen, I'm just into doing stupid shit and investigating spooky shit, so whatever you want to do. But the only thing I ask is you remain on the level with us the whole time. Kind of going back to what everybody else said. If we need something, and we need it now, I need to know that you can be trustworthy and accountable, just like we'll be accountable to you.
I mean, I can only do my best. I need all you to know that working for, he puts his hand up and does the quotes thing. He says, working as the Outlaws, you guys all know who the Outlaws are. The Outlaws are ex-DG agents who don't agree with the program and are more towards keeping everything safe and out of the public eye. So he puts his hand up and quotes, he says, being part of the Outlaws, as they call us, we don't have the benefit of the Bureau's financial backing, and things are a little more difficult, but they're way more rewarding. But I get what you're saying, McNulty, and I promise you I'll do my best to stay on the level with you.
All right, I'm in.
So he goes, well, thanks for meeting with me. Thanks for the good work you did. Let's have a bite to eat. And Sheila goes, grabs tons of shit, puts it at the table. You guys eat your breakfast, and it fades out. Credits roll. But we got to have a post-credit scene. So it fades into a nameplate on a mahogany desk. The nameplate says Travis Hess, and under it, PX Penumbra, CEO. The camera cuts to different photos framed on the wall. Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, the Nain Rouge, several photos of gray aliens. The camera then cuts to behind two young men, one of which is wearing a hoodie and the other you can clearly see has a grotesque broccoli-shaped haircut in front of them. And a man speaks. George? William? The feds? Really? You confronted a fed? Come on, George. One of the kids is like, he was sitting right there eavesdropping on our conversation with the doc. The kid with the broccoli hair, he's like, I knew it was a bad idea. The older man, in a low voice, says, yes, it was. The kid in the hoodie, he goes, he's got the shine, I know it. I wanted to know more. Kid with the broccoli hair goes, okay, Danny Torrance. The old man says, as stupid as your actions were, George, I believe the same. And I believe whatever faction he belongs to knows it, and whatever he knows, the world should know as well. Find him and his colleagues, tail them, find out everything about them. And then it fades out. So that concludes A Victim of the Art.
Yay!
Yay! Good job,
Very,
everybody.
very fun.
Very good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good week.
All right,
Awesome.
boys. Take care.
Good season, guys. You too. Bye.
Well, there it is. The end of our first season. It was super fun playing A Victim of the Art with these guys. Yeah, join us on Patreon at Law and Disorders. Become a member if you can. Not necessary, though. It just helps out with the production costs and gives my wife a reason not to bitch at me for spending so much time on the computer when I'm making a couple dollars. But yeah, season 2 will be out in a couple months. Hope you guys all tune back in. But for now, make sure you guys keep your sanity in check. Peace.